As I have told you, happy to see you all back on Monday. So we are in the last part of the lesson. Okay, natural resources, land, soil, and water. In that, we have to see about the soil conservation. Okay, soil erosion and soil conservation. So when we talk about soil erosion, we just know that the wearing away of the top layer of the soil, which is called soil erosion. So that definition alone, you would have learned it so far. Wearing away of the top layer of the soil, that is called what? Soil erosion, due to various agents like wind, water, or something else. But here today we are going to learn about what are the types of soil erosion we have, how the erosion occurs, what are the types of erosion, so how to conserve the soil. Okay, so that's what we are going to see today, and with that the lesson will get over. Types of erosion and the ways of conservation of soil. So let's get into the lesson without wasting time. So this is a big lesson, but it is an easy lesson. Fine. So what is the topic we are going to see? Soil erosion and conservation. So we know very well that soil is the main source of all the living organisms, for all the living organisms. Okay, for the plants to grow, for the animals to live, especially for the burrowing animals. Yes, the creatures which live inside the soil. For many purposes, it can be used by the human beings for various purposes. But there are erosion occurs. Okay, erosion occurs there too. Let us see that how it is. So first of all, what is soil erosion? The removal of the top layer of the soil is called what? Soil erosion. The removal of the top layer of the soil is called what? Soil erosion. So soil erosion is the detachment, transport and deposition of soil particles on land surface, also termed as loss of soil. Soil erosion is otherwise called as loss of soil. Detachment means taken from that place and it is transported to the some other places and it get deposited in other places. Okay, so this is called soil erosion. Here you can see, if it is a leveled land, it will be of same level everywhere. But you can see here some patches here and there. You can see a lot of variations in the level of the land. All this happen, it is all because of the soil erosion. So it is caused by natural process as well as by the human activities. So nature is also responsible, human also responsible. What are the ways natural is responsible? Wind and water. These are the two main agents which remove the top layer of the soil. Human activities, it includes overcropping, overgrazing, deforestation. Overcropping, overgrazing, deforestation. Okay, so here in the previous one, overcropping, in order for the greediness, they may have a small amount of land, but they would not have invested a lot of money for fertilizers or manures or something like that. But they wanted to grow more and more crops on the same land. They expected lot of quantities, okay, of the crops from the same land. So by like they start using lot of chemical pesticides, chemical manures or something like that in order to get more amount of crops from the same land. So by using that chemicals, what happened, very soon the quality or the fertility of the soil go off. Okay, so it go off, so soon the soil loses its fertility and it start becoming like a barren land. Okay, barren land means nothing can be grown in that area. Then nothing can, when nothing can be grown, there are no roots to hold the soil tightly. So after that, what happens? The soil becomes loose particles, so soil erosion occurs in that place. Next one, overgrazing. In most of the hilly areas and most of the places, we would have seen that people letting their cattle for their food. Okay, for their food. So what happens when overgrazing happens? There also the soil loses its fertility and soil erosion occurs. Deforestation, of course, cutting down of the trees. When we cut down a lot of trees, the same thing, same reason only. There will be no trees and no roots to hold the soil tightly. So because of that, the soil becomes loose and erosion happens in that place. Okay, so overcropping, overgrazing, deforestation. So here we are going to see the types of soil erosion you can see here. So this is a kind of soil where you would have seen in the villages or whenever, even in KK Nagar or some other areas around in and around of your place, you would have seen the roads or the place where the metal road or concrete road or whatever it is, whatever the type of tar road, wherever these kind of roads are not there, you would have seen these kind of places nearby rivers. This is called what? Sheet erosion. Sheet erosion is the removal of the thin layer of the topsoil by raindrop splash or water runoff. Okay. For example, when you pour water on sand, what happens? The sand in that place will be like thrown out somewhere. Okay. When you stand and pour water on the sand, okay, what happens? The sand will be removed from that place, and you can find only a hole, yes, hole like structure. In the same way, whenever the rain occurs, okay, this sheet erosion happens. That is only the top layer of the soil gets washed away. This is called what? Sheet erosion. Next one, gully erosion. In gully erosion, the surface runoff is very high. Suddenly, when there is any flood or anything, we can find this structure over there. So these gullies resemble like ditches or small valleys, maybe sometimes 10 meters in depth also. Okay, 10 meters in depth and width. So this is called what? Gully erosion. The surface runoff is very high. Yes. Next one, rill erosion. So you can see some kind of lines over here. Okay. So if sheet erosion occurs with the full force, the runoff water moves rapidly over the soil surface. It cuts well-defined finger-shaped groove-like structures. It appears as thin as channels or streams. It is known as rill erosion. So the first stage of erosion, when the sheet erosion happens, in the same place continuously, the water flows down. Yes, the water flows down. So what happens? It starts flowing down like this. It develops some kind of a cracks there itself, and then through the cracks or through that path itself, it continuously flow. When it continuously flow, the place remains like this. Okay, place remains like this. This is called what? Rill erosion. This is on the mountain slope. The way in which the rainwater flows down, there happens rill erosion. Okay. Next one, stream bank erosion. Stream bank erosion. So the rivers during floods splash their water against the banks. So during the floods, how the river water flows, it flows very fast. Okay, very speed. So when it flows at a greater speed, both the side it splash and go. Okay, both the side. That is called what? Bank. The wall near the rivers. Okay, those are called what? Banks. So when it dashes both the side, this kind of erosion happens. You can see here. This is called, and you can see here also. This is called what? Stream bank erosion. Okay, so this happens particularly at curves. Water strikes with great speed, and bank caves in alongside. This type of erosion is also known as riparian erosion, stream bank erosion, or riparian erosion. So this happens when the rivers during floods splash their water against the banks. Okay, next one, Other types are wind erosion, landslides or slip erosion. Wind erosion, I need not say, you know very well that from the name itself, you can understand that it happens due to the wind activity. So soil erosion by wind is common in dry regions, especially in the desert areas, because there only there will be no drop of water and soil is totally loose. So it can be easily carried away by the wind. So mostly it happens in the desert areas. In even in our areas also it happens when the area or the land becomes totally dry. We can see some particles of sand without water. So when the wind blow, it can be carried away. Okay, with a lot of dust. Two characteristics of such region are the soil is mainly sandy. That's what I told, that the desert soil, and the vegetation is very poor or even absent. The place where the vegetation is not there, trees are not there, or if it is very less, that is called poor vegetation. So in those places, these kind of wind erosion occurs naturally and commonly. Next one, landslides or slip erosion. So the hydraulic pressure which is caused by heavy rain increases the weight of the rocks at a cliff. As a result, they come under the gravitational force and finally slip or fall off. So during the rainy season, we know very well that uh, especially in some of the areas where the trees are not there to hold the soil tightly, what happens when it rains heavily or when the place is flooded, the soil holds the capacity of water and it becomes very heavy. When the soil is very heavy, automatically it got slide off from the place. Okay, it slide off from the place. This is called what? Landslides or slip erosion. Recently, in the past, before 10 days, you would have watched in the news like how landslides occurred in different areas. Yes. So you can see this is a kind of a landslide, or you can say that slip erosion. This particular place alone will get cut because of the heavy load and it fall off. This is all called slip erosion or a kind of a landslide. Next one, let us see the effects of soil erosion. So what happens when soil erosion occurs? It reduces the crop production. Crop production, because all the fertility of the soil will get washed away. So crop production also reduces. Eroded soil is deposited on riverbeds, raising their levels and leading to devastating floods. So when the river flows and soil erosion occurs, the river carries all the deposits, or the rainwater carries all the deposits. Where the rainwater goes and mix, it gets mixed with the river water only. So before it gets mixed with the river water, all the deposits are there on the river banks. River banks means the place which is near the river. Okay, river bank. So what happens? Flood occurs not only on the near the river banks, even when that river place, okay, where the river, the path where the river flows, if that is filled with sand, what happens? The river water comes out. You would have done this, or you would have watched this experiment also. When you take a tumbler of water, only when water is there, it will be there. When you start pouring the sand, what happens? The water comes out of the tumbler. Okay, because sand occupies a place, there is no place for the river water to go. So often flood occurs in that area. Often flood occurs in that area. So that is why they used to say the word in Tamil called Toorvarum Pani, cleaning the river. Toorvarum Pani means taking away all these stored or deposited sand particles or stone particles, whatever it is. All the deposits they will take from the river for the river to flow smoothly. Otherwise, the areas nearby that particular river will be flooded. Okay.
Bama ma'am. Children, kindly wait. There might be some network problem. So teacher is not there found. We'll wait. Okay. Don't make unnecessary chats. We'll wait for the teacher. மேமே இல்ல வெளியே போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்காங்க சார், மேம் இல்ல. பாமா மேம் அதான் கால் பண்ணலான்னு பாக்குறேன்.
Ma'am, you are able to hear me now? Ma'am, you are able to hear me? Okay, okay, fine, children. Some inconvenience happened in between, some network problem. Okay, fine. So we have started with the soil conservation. Yes. So soil, just think about the points, how we can do the soil conservation. Think about the points I will ask you. So we have a lot of ways of soil conservation. Okay, we have contour ploughing, terrace cultivation, strip cropping, and planting of trees. All these are the methods where we can conserve the soil. Yes. So let us see about it with the help of the slides. What do you mean by contour ploughing? What is terrace cultivation? What is strip cultivation? All that we will see now. Okay. I'll keep on tell you and then I'll show you the slide when it is ready. So contour ploughing is to cultivate crops along contour lines instead of up and down the slope. Okay. So up and down, when I show you, you will be very clear. So this is to cultivate crops along the contour lines. Terrace cultivation, you would have heard. What is terrace cultivation? Cultivation done on the slopes of the mountain in a different way by cutting the terraces. That is called terrace cultivation. So this is what I said. What is soil conservation? I said conserving the soil. So counter farming, terrace farming, no-till farming, organic farming, restore the wetlands, planting vegetation and planting buffer strips, wind breaks, proper waste disposal and management. If we follow all these methods, we can surely conserve the soil. Let us see the next one. This is called contour ploughing. As I said, cultivate crops along contour lines instead of up and down the slope. Okay, instead of up and down, see, you can see it is in line. Okay, it is not perfectly horizontal, but you can see the way they have followed. So what happens? This decelerates the flow of water. No wastage of water will be there. All the places will get the even amount of water. That is why this contour ploughing is done. Okay, next one. This is called terrace cultivation, because if the terrace cultivation, if they have not cut the slopes into steps, what happens? The water slide very easily and very speed. Okay, so when it run off very speed, the soil cannot hold the water. But when they do like this structure, what happens? When they do like this structure, the water flows down slowly. So at that time, the soil can absorb the water. So this kind of terrace cultivation is possible on the slopes, and it conserve the water also. This is called strip cropping. You can see here, you would have seen this kind of cropping in most of the places. It involves growing of strip of grass between crops. Okay, it is the growing of strip of grass between crops. This breaks the force of wind and water holds the soil together. Why grass are grown in between the crops? To break the force of wind. It holds the grass holds the break of wind. Sometimes the wind blows very heavily and in one blow, all the crops may fall. Okay, so it prevents that. That is why strip cropping is done. Not only that, in order to hold the soil tightly. For that reason also strip cropping is done. Next one, shelter belts. You can see here the picture with a lot of trees near the land. Why it is done? To prevent the wind entering into that field and damage the crops. It's like a wall, natural wall, like a compound wall for that place. So trees are planted to check the velocity of wind, especially in coastal and dry areas. And these are used to stabilize sand dunes. So these trees prevent the sand taken from the other place and fill this fertile land. Okay, and it prevents the heavy blown wind entering into that field and then damage the crops. So for these two reasons, the shelter belts are grown. Shelter belts means the trees are grown along the land. These are called what? Shelter belts.